my name is Zala and I'm the Circular Economy Manager for the City of Ljubljana, and I will try to present our current activities, but let's wait for the slides. So the next one, please. Okay, yes. So for the ones who didn't have the pleasure to come to Ljubljana, this is a picture out of the air onto the city, and you can see that Ljubljana is really a very green city. We have, landscape parks practically directly or in the center of the city. We have a lot of nature protection areas. So the next slide, please. It is no wonder that sustainable development was declared as one of the 3 strategical development goals in the Vision Ljubljana 2025, which was prepared in 2007, before we have even spoken about the circular economy. But based on this vision, or the goal of this vision was to become or provide the best service for our citizens, and also to improve the quality of living. And based on this vision, or one of the success factors of this vision was also that Ljubljana has won this prestigious title of European Green Capital 2016. Next slide, please. So even while we were living the title European Green Capital, we were, discussing how can we be even better. And of course, we have decided to work more on circular economy. And this is a very simple scheme of our transition to circular economy, and it is based on communication, because we think that if we are not communicating, if we are not exchanging the ideas, the data, then we don't know what is happening in our city, and we have to know, and we have to make a better, and we can make better decisions if we communicate more. But of course, we have to include the citizens, all the stakeholders, to participate in order, to achieve and to really be circular. And our activities are today focusing on 3 pillars. The first one is circular decision making and being the best, actually, role model for the citizens and all stakeholders, which is what I will be talking about in my presentation today. The second pillar is assembling value chains. As I have already said, we have to include all the citizens, all stakeholders, so in order to close the circle. And the third pillar is based on what we are actually doing now. It's on knowledge exchange and experience exchange. But all these 3 pillars really have to be connected, interlinked with innovations, new circular business models, because we have to change how we are behaving today. So next slide, please. Going to the role model. In 2020, a lot of our strategies will come to an end. So we said, okay, this is now a good moment to include the young people of Ljubljana into all the processes, because they will be the one who will leave the city into 2030, 2040, 2050. So we have prepared a questionnaire for them and asked them what the city administration should focus more in the future. And 4 priority areas came up. The public transport, which is kind of logical, because young people usually don't have the cars. Educational system. The young people have expressed their concerns, or they have suggested to make it more innovative, more experimental. They want to test different solutions and so on. And they have also said that they really would like to eat and grow local and ecological food, And they have also mentioned sustainable shopping in a way that they are ready to use reuse models, to repurpose, to do-it-yourself culture, and so on. So the next slide, please. But on the other hand, as the decision makers, we also wanted to know what the status or what our employees are thinking on the topic. So this year we have prepared a questionnaire for city administration employees on sustainability and circular economy. And what was interesting that 50% of all employees have opened the questionnaire, but only 25% of all employees filled in the questionnaire. So this was a little bit strange, but out of this 25%, 75% of employees thought that sustainable development and circular economy are important development. But only 40% of employees have heard of circular economy. They have already heard of circular economy, but were not familiar in details what it means. So, based on these results, we have decided that it is of vital importance to come up with a very simple, basic definition what the circular economy is. Next slide, please. So we thought that if we decision makers will start to live really circular solutions, then we will also start making circular solutions for all of us. So what we have now practically finished is a green decision code for city administration employees, where it's actually a very short document. It will be signed by the mayor. It's actually a 2-pager. And in this green decision code, we are introducing 10 principles of circular economy. And the goal of this code is to make our colleagues, our city employees, to really understand that whatever decision we take, it will make an impact, whether on environment or society, and that we have to continue to act transparently in order to know who is doing what and why it is doing it, that we really have to strengthen the cooperation between the departments and different offices. Maybe the next one is related to the general situation nowadays about health, and we would really like our colleagues to make or use digital instead of physical solutions in their work processes. We believe that we have to do more on introducing innovations and new circular business models in our day-to-day decision making. We have to be aware that natural resources are limited. We have to take care, or when we are procuring, paying attention whether we can use reused items, or we can repair something, or we can repurpose something. And we really have to be more in line or work very closely to our local environment, because in general, the amount of waste is increasing in the city. We really have to pay more attention and take more activities into reducing the amount of waste. And of course, biodiversity, which is also related to my first slide, because we are a very green area and we have a lot of endangered species, animal and plant species. So the next slide, please. So, but this code will be a 2-pager and will not provide the public employees with enough data on making the circular decisions. So that's why we are also finishing up the guidebook on sustainable and circular everyday decisions. which will include our very general and simple definition what circular economy is, so that every employee, the city employee, will be aware what and will know what the circular economy is. We have included also the explanation of these 10 principles that I have stated. We will also include the interesting facts about these principles, step-by-step introduction or possibilities what every citizen servant can do. We are explaining or naming also already existing good practices of the city, and we are also now debating on performance indicators. So how we will measure whether we are really taking sustainable or circular solutions. Next slide, please. What I have mentioned are some words on the paper, but we really want to make people or our public employees to live the solutions, good practices. So what we are doing, we started to organize circular challenges for the city administration employees. This was the topic of the first challenge. We have invited public administration employees to cycle as much as possible to and from work, and 45 employees took the challenge and have cycled more than 8,000 kilometers in less than 2 months, which may not seem a lot, but it is more than Tour de France and Spanish Vuelta together. And the next slide, please. And this is now the second challenge that we are introducing into the city administration locations. It is so-called exchange markets, which are intended for employees only. And on these shelves, the employees can bring still useful items like books, DVDs, textiles, different objects. And some other colleagues can take them and continue to use them. So we have currently set up 2 exchange markets, and 2 are to follow. So the purpose is to really engage the decision makers into different good practices in order that they will lead these solutions and also use them when they are making their solutions. So next slide, please. Okay, so the last activity that is just starting is also that we are preparing a strategic document to Ljubljana Circular City 2035. We are just starting with the workshops, and in half a year and 6 months time, I'm sure that we will finish the process. It will be a long process because we want to include all decision makers into participating in setting up this document. So we'll see how it will progress, but in this document we will focus probably on different mass flows in the city, and we'll see what will happen. So thank you for your attention.